Welcome to Watch What Crappens. To get our videos as soon as they're released instead of waiting for a week, head over to our Patreon. That's also where you'll find our bonus episodes and our Discord community. We love you guys.
Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me today on Thanksgiving Eve, it's the one and only Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How's it going?
Well, hello, Benuni. How you doing, baby?
Doing just great over here. We are about to do our Salt Lake City recap, and then we're off until Monday. So that means there will not be a Southern Charm recap. Apologies for that. We are taking Thanksgiving weekend off completely. So,
but just in case you guys want to know what happened, the guys looked like angels while they were getting ready to fuck over a bunch of women for the season.
That is correct. That is correct. And half of them still don't have jobs. So, and by half, I mean all.
I was going to say, what half are you referring to? The only one on that show with a job is Randy.
Yeah, and Craig, sort of. On Monday,
Craig has a
back.
Jerry who does jobs.
He has a Jerry.
Yeah.
That's sweet, sweet Jerry. Monday, we're back. We are also bringing back Married to Medicine to our roster. So we're excited about that. So can't wait. In the meantime, if you're like, but we need content, guess what? There's so much on Patreon. We do bonus episodes. If you've never listened to a Patreon bonus episode, guess what? There's like hundreds of bonus episodes out there. And this week was a free bonus, actually. It was a trailer trash breakdown of The Valley Persian Style.
Well, it wasn't free. It was only free for a second because we streamed it live on accident.
Unfree. It was free.
It's been unfreed. It was unfree to the people who happened to be on YouTube that day. But yeah, Married to Medicine. And then we also did our final Dwell Hello. So yeah, we still did 5 shows.
Yeah, still a lot of content out there and in our back catalogs. Anyway, you get it. So patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens. I hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving. You get it.
I know. What are you arguing about?
Some crazy thing just flew across your screen. What
Really?
was that?
Was it behind me or in front of me?
It looked like a ghost.
I hope it's a ghost. I know that there's a ghost somewhere in this house, and I want to meet the ghost. Where is he or she?
I could have sworn I saw something, but sometimes there are these things like if you make like an L or something.
Where are you at? Come over here and see me. I've been wanting to go. I'm the only person who wants the ghost. I've been looking for them, and they never talk to me or anything.
I cannot wait to go back and maybe it was me. Like I could have sworn I just saw a white thing go floating across your screen. But also, like, we know your camera. Sometimes, Ronnie, you're talking, and your camera will just give, like, a thumbs up. It'll just float up across. So it could have been that.
No, I think you would have known if it was. I hope it was a ghost. The piano I got was from the year this house was built, which is 1956. And so I was like, maybe if I get a piano, the year that the house was built, whoever died in this house from 1956 will play the piano. Or I don't know, something. Because, no one can, what am I trying to say? No one can stop themselves from playing a piano, even if they can't play it, like me. They'll like sit there and like chopsticks or whatever. Anytime someone comes in here, they start chopsticking or Mary Had a Little Lambing it or Heart and Souling it. So come on, ghost, get off your lazy ass.
Maybe the ghost will play like Heartbreak Hotel or like Blue Suede Shoes, because 1956 is the year that Elvis became famous, according to my very quick searching.
Really? Well, the song I practice every day on the piano is "I Can't Help Falling in Love with You" by who is it? Elvis. Well, made popular by
UB40 also. I would love it if Elvis decided to haunt you. That's such an amazing find for most people just get ghosts of sad children or crazy old people.
I don't want Elvis. I have enough of an eating disorder without Elvis over here shitting out peanut butter and banana sandwiches and doing his coke on the. I'm trying to stop all that.
You don't need the ghost of Elvis. You don't need Elvis also nagging you. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Stop it. I'm actually much more than that.
I know I described Elvis and I was like, actually, I think I just described my past decade. So I'm like Elvis without the fame and fortune. I'm just that why I saw it too. Was that it? There was something that flew behind me.
Did you see? I was looking at a different screen. I swear to God, I was on a different screen. You saw it?
Yeah, I saw it.
It was like a white. It was like a white thing that flew across.
What was it? A ghost of a bug? That's not
Maybe
a
it's
good
just a bug.
ghost. What if I just have a ghost of a bug? No, it was like a white ghost thing.
It could also just be a bug.
I don't have bugs.
Like an actual, like a bug that's floated by the camera that looks much bigger because it's on camera.
I don't have bugs.
It's like this is like the Today Show for bugs. They're like, oh my God, hi mom. Anyway, let's move on. This episode of Salt Lake City is so good. I'm wondering that when Andy Cohen teased that the next episode of Salt Lake City may be his favorite of the season, and then we got last week's episode, which was nice. Maybe he really meant this episode. Maybe he got confused with the order, because this episode I thought was tremendous. And in fact, about like 20 minutes into it, I was like, is this going to be a bottle episode? Is it all going to take place at Vultures? And I actually got very excited for that, because really, truly, for the first 20 minutes of airtime, not including commercials, we were in, or 20 minutes, we were in Vultures. And I was like, oh my God, this entire show might take place around this table, which will actually be amazing television. It didn't, but it still was amazing television. I was so hopeful that it would.
It was good. Great. And I was really, really happy for Muzzy for having a good episode. I mean, Muzzy kind of had a redemptive episode, which I thought was very nice, because, you know, no woman in America is as hated as Muzzy right now in the Real Housewives watching community. I mean, she's really taken a lot of...
Gretchen Rossi is sort of up there these days, huh?
Well, she's at least got a lot of the country behind her. But Muzzy, I mean, everyone, Republican, Democrat, no matter what you feel about gay people and trans people, everyone can agree that Muzzy's been an asshole. But yeah, I was happy for her for having a nice kind of redemptive episode where she was somewhat kind. Her eyebrows even looked better. Do you think it was the kindness?
I think so. Maybe she's in the holiday spirit. I know that someone, I believe on Reddit, it could have been Twitter, but I think it was Reddit, said that they went to a thrift store and they found Muzzy's t-shirt, the one that had that frazzled cat saying, everything's fine, everything's fine. And it's like, oh, it all makes sense now. Muzzy graduated. Muzzy found warmth in her hat, and she was able to retire her souvenir t-shirt. So the arc has been completed. Muzzy has found warmth and happiness. So good for Muzzy.
Yeah, good for Muzzy.
Did well. Yeah.
For this episode, you know, we'll see. So we also got to see Gwen, which we don't see Gwen very often. Gwen with her matching mom hair, which was weird, and her gecko obsession. Like, I'm leaving you, mother. So that was fun. But yeah, overall a pretty good one. And we also got the moment we all knew was coming, which was Whitney's Meredith is an alcoholic storyline, which we knew that was coming, and it was kind of stymied because Whitney cannot do a storyline right. I mean, it's classic Whitney, you know, just bungling every storyline she's got. But damn it, it got out there. So congratulations to Whitney on starting her season 1, part 2, or like second half of the season storyline going. Good for her.
I know. You know, it's crazy. We're already on episode 11 of the show, and it feels like we're only reaching like 1/3. Like we just hit the 1/3 mark for the season. It feels like there's still so much ground to cover. So it's wild that like we're already at episode 11 when realistically there's probably like 4 or 5 episodes left. But then again, we also did kind of like Muzzy had oh look, Muzzy is nice now thing. So they're starting to tie up some things. And we also had like some resolution with Brittany and her daughter. But I feel like the season just started. I know that's crazy to say it, but I feel like we're just getting underway. But also Meredith did a classic Meredith thing, which is she did not ever accept responsibility for anything that may or may not have happened on the airplane. But what she has done is decided to start up a feud with Whitney to distract away from it and sort of like do this like quick patch up with Brittany and move forward. I mean, that is a pro if you've ever seen one. That's just like, that's high level housewifery.
Yeah, I think Meredith at one point was like, why am I letting Brittany become the star of this show? I'm dropping Whitney and I'm going to come for the real meat, Heather and Whitney, because fuck those two. And I saw an interview with Meredith, I don't know, some red carpet thing or whatever. And she was like, they said, well, who's giving you the problems in the second half of the season? And she's like, well, it's the Shitneys. You know who they are. Whitney and Brittany, the Shitneys. I was like, oh, here she goes. Oh, my
God, Mom. That's so funny, Mom.
That's hilarious.
Like so funny.
I designed that for her.
Thing. That's
I
like
did that for her.
That's like, Meredith, that's just great, Meredith. That's funny. That's a funny bit, Meredith.
Tell him the one about being a pansexual. It's so good. It's so good.
That joke is so good. I want to be its dad. Oh, God, I want that joke to call me for advice.
Okay, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, episode 611, Ladies Who Lunch, the sequel.
So we are actually driving away from Mary's church. This is like we're picking up almost directly from where the last one left off. We start with Lisa and Meredith in a car. And Lisa's like, oh my God, are you like ready for lunch? Yeah, I'm starving. Me too. Me too. Oh, wow. There's a fly in the car. Look at that. There's a fly in here.
Right
So
after I was
lowers-
going over the bug in my house. And I got
my
it. It wasn't a
God.
ghost. It was a bug. It was a mosquito. And guess what? The mosquito is now a ghost. Bye, bitch.
Wow. Well, that follows a very similar arc to the bug that was in Lisa's car because Meredith lowers the window and goes, bye, fly. You can leave.
Mary's service was beautiful, wasn't it? It was so beautiful. It's like, oh, so nice, so beautiful. Yeah, when we first got to the church, though, like, everyone's energy, it was like so off. It was like just so off their energy.
Yeah, they were basically like, why are you here, basically? And then we go to Heather's car where she's driving with Whitney. And Heather's like, I mean, they come in, they're all smiles. Nothing's happened. Nothing has gone wrong. I'm like, well, how did you guys greet them? By like frowning and crying and pointing fingers in their faces. You guys smile too. It's called being polite at church.
Well, they were kind of awkward when they walked in. They were like, oh my God, look who's here. Oh my God, they're totally here right now. What do we do? So when he's like, yeah, them pretending nothing happened was what really bothered me because I think they're going to try and spin it where it's someone else's fault. It's going to be our fault.
Yeah. Well, what do you think is like, well, if they try to spin it, that's just absolutely impossible. So now we go to Valters and Angie K is walking down the street, down the red carpet. And Mary explains to us that after the plane ride, everyone is not forgiving and everyone is not healed. So Lord, help us all. So Valters, I wish they'd put up a card, by the way. I think it's like overdue, a card that said, you know, Valter, 1920 something to 2021 or whenever he passed.
I think they did.
Oh.
When
Well,
Walter
so-
passed, I think they did at the end of the episode. I think they were like, we dedicate this to Walter. That
Well,
son
we
of
could
a
have done it
gun.
again.
No
Why
one
not do
did a
it again?
rigatoni like Walter. Or something. I think they did an RIP for Walter. I hope so.
They probably did. I just want more.
Yeah.
More RIPs.
But
Maybe
you
they
know
should
what?
do an RIP for Cucina Toscana because we haven't been there in forever. Is that place
We
closed?
haven't. What happened to that restaurant?
I don't know.
I miss it. But
too.
there are still all the doormen. You know, Mary still has like the red carpet in front of the Valters for entering
Yep.
for all the ladies and all the guys standing outside like it's so fancy. They didn't do a Met Gala thing like they did the first time, though. And I think that was a very important part. And Mary also didn't get everyone like really extravagant gifts. This time she got them all beta fish.
Didn't she
Who
do that
does that?
already? Didn't she already do that? Wasn't that like what she did the first time?
No, the
Didn't-
first
like,
time she got them like crazy
pads?
extravagant gifts, didn't
Like
she?
watches.
She got them. Yeah, I think it was watches and crystal boxes or something crazy
Let me see.
Are you
Mary
looking it up
Cosby
on the-
beta fish. Yeah.
on the computer.
Mary Cosby. Does anyone have a clip of Mary Cosby saying this is on Reddit? Does anyone have a clip of Mary Cosby saying she doesn't eat fish because we'll start a fish family in her stomach? Okay, no, that was not it.
Succession music is playing. I don't know why, but we're at Valters, but they do a nice Succession theme. And Heather and Whitney come in, and Heather's like, I love beta fish. I love beta fish. They're sisters. All of these beta fish are sisters. And Whitney's like, wait a minute. Why isn't this fish moving? They're like, oh, yeah, they don't move. And Angie says, he's a snooze fest. This one, we should call this one Meredith. Ha, 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 ha.
And so they're all saying hi, and then Meredith and Lisa walk in, and Angie's like, "Oh, your guests are here," and Lisa's like, "Oh my God, I love this. This is so sweet. Oh my God, beta fish. Oh my God, are you kidding? Do I have to go home with a fish? This is crazy. What do I do with a fish?"
I love that Lisa said, wow, you know what, Mary? Like your service, like that was so amazing. That was like so from the heart. When Mary's service was like, you are soulless. What was she saying? Like she gave them each thing. And when it got to Lisa, she's like, you with no souls, with no humanity, you with the long black hair, Satan, I see Satan in you. And Lisa's like, wow, that was really good. That was so good, Mary. Yeah. That was
So
great.
now they're making jokes about the beta fish. Bronwyn's like, I mean, a goodie bag is usually a gift for me, not a responsibility. And Heather's like, the more the merrier. I'm an empty nester. Doesn't mean I can't care for a fish. I mean, we're a sisterhood of fish that we keep at home. As long as that fish doesn't bother me while I'm writing a new novel, which I'm writing, New York Times bestseller.
Yeah, but betta fish are fighting fish. Like my friends.
That was the that punchline was the Las Vegas of punchlines. When you're driving down the highway, you see it many miles before you arrive. So
Before she even saw it.
yeah,
She's
before-
like so proud every time she gets to the end of a line. It's so funny. Like she does this like little nose scrunch and like, wow, she just makes her eyes like that. Like, wow, I did it. So they sit down and
by
now
the way, sorry to interrupt. Did you see that montage that someone made of Angie K doing slow burns? I never even realized. I've noticed that she does them, and I always laugh when she does them. But I didn't realize the degree to which Angie K will like rotate her head very slowly and look away from something, and it is amazing. And she does like 10 during the scene. She's like, I am looking away slowly and flaring my eyes.
she's like a camera in your house, you know? She's like a ring camera that just kind of moves, whatever those little cameras are. It's like,
So good.
so they sit down and it's quiet and everybody's giving soap opera looks. Bronwyn is giving like the telenovela, like, and Angie's giving hers. And then Heather's like, okay, well, so wait a minute. Is this Dom from 2003? Remember everybody? That was a hilarious season.
And we get the flashback where Mary told the story about how there was a heat wave that killed 5,600 people, but made the best grapes of all time. Which I forgot about that.
And Heather's like, should I be looking for the tears of the deceased?
Mary is like, well, I invited you all because this was an important day, and I felt like I needed a group around me of real friendship. And if you notice, the ones that are not here, which is Brittany, I did let her know why she wasn't invited. So 5 hours earlier, Mary calls Brittany on the phone and goes, I just wanted to let you know that I'm having an event today, and I did not invite you because you told me that I was the most ungodly person you ever met.
She's like, well, I mean, I meant that in the moment because it felt like you were super mean and God wouldn't be mean, but it was hurtful. And I'm sorry. God wouldn't be mean. Have you read the Bible?
I think a pharaoh or two would like to have a word. Like, what? I wore my best suit today and a frog fell on me. Where'd that come from?
God's unhappy. He's like, okay, you know what? I'm pissed off at them because they did something to me. So just go slaughter the whole village. What do you mean you kept a cow? I'm slaughtering you and your whole family too. Listen, the word smite comes from the Bible, okay? Don't fuck with God. It's not just some nice little
God's
mamby-pamby
nice.
you can push around, okay?
God's like, I was just reacting. I was venting to a friend, and I'm sorry that you overheard my plague.
Yeah, God was mean, but then he saw all the tweets about him. So then he changed it up for season 2, which is the New Testament. So he came back with like, you know, a little Botox and some fillers, new boobs and, you know, a weave, and then tried to be nice for a season. But don't you worry. There's always season 3.
So Mary is saying that she's like, hey, Brittany apologized and she meant it. And, she's like, and my mouth hit the floor. And I looked at the dog and I said, should I invite her? And I was like, give me a paw if I should invite her. See footage of the dog. The dog is like, "Whoa," and just like
The dog
lies
just
down.
tilts his head and doesn't know what to do. So it just lays down. She's like, and he didn't give me his paw. So I didn't invite her. So if I could, I feel like if she could apologize, then we should be able to come together and understand why we're hurt and what happened and, who didn't or didn't apologize. Okay, I love that Mary is trying to like be preacher Mary this season and just be sweet. And, we're all falling for this nice, kind, new version of Mary. But I'm sorry, you just preached a sermon at church. And now you're coming to this fine dining restaurant that costs $1 zillion and refusing to invite a girl that you don't like. So please spare me the forgiveness talk. Okay? Please.
But actually, I think it was good that Brittany wasn't there because I don't think they would have had as productive a conversation. It would have gone left. It would have been like the yacht all over again.
Yeah, it
So
would have been about
ultimately,
Brittany and
yeah, it would have been a mess. So Mary is like, we're just, just say, I'm sorry if that offended you. And Heather goes, oh my gosh, that's the magical sentence. Are you listening, Lisa? Are you listening to what Mary's saying? And Lisa's like, are you listening to what Mary's saying? Mary's like, is this a fight? Should we be in fight mode?
Well, I'm just saying that there was no apology. And Lisa, you didn't apologize to me. And I was just trying to tell you what Mary said, and I was deeply offended. Please, Heather, you chased Lisa around drunkenly on a boat for 2 days, screaming and yelling that she betrayed everybody with no proof. What is Heather Heather ever talking about on this show? I like that Heather shows up all innocent, like, I deserve an apology too.
Yeah, and I love that. She's literally the last person who deserves apology in this situation. And Mary's like, "Wait, what are you hurt about?" And she goes, "Because I was hurt that this really great, amazing trip ended up in Brittany being corralled off of a plane by us, a sisterhood, sobbing. Well, she was sobbing, not the sisterhood. The sisterhood was laughing. Angie can't even stand Brittany, and Mary can't stand Brittany, and they were caressing her and helping her. Gosh, that's terrible." And Angie's like, "It was really bad and Greek. It was anti-Greek."
Well, I never said nothing happened. And then we see a clip of Lisa, and she goes, I said nothing to Brittany, and I'm not apologizing. So, what?
No,
And then we cut back. The editors are so good. So then we cut back, and Heather's like, it's called paraphrasing, Lisa. Well, we never even discussed what happened, Heather, so I don't know what you're talking about. This is me, calm Meredith, just being calm in a restaurant.
Well, tell me what happened that warranted our trip ending horribly with one of our friends never wanting to be in the same room as you or you, because she holds both of you equally accountable.
Well, that's weird.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah, that's really weird. I don't know why.
I was reacting to her very malicious actions, and her reaction was not right time. My reaction was not right time, not right place. And that's all I was doing something at the not right time, not right place.
Well, listen here, girlfriend. It was more than the wrong time and the wrong place.
I'm Meredith's friend. I feel like Meredith was beyond upset. You ever have a Beyond Burger? She was the burger, and it was beyond. Yeah.
Yeah, and Whitney's like, but what we witnessed was different than what you were saying, because it was like you were taunting Brittany and calling her names. Nuh-uh, Meredith didn't even talk to Brittany. I did not speak to her once, not even once. I would say, waiter, could you please pour a glass of champagne over the dirty whore that nobody loves that's in front of me? I mean, is there something wrong with that?
She had over-the-ear headphones and a movie on or something like that. I wasn't really sure what the movie was about, but I saw a lady crawling out of a television. It looked like an adorable rom-com. It was The Ring. Well, I don't know what that is.
But it was all in earshot, and she could still hear you. Meredith was actually diabolical on the plane.
There would definitely be brief moments of peace, and then it would slowly pick up again, and it would crescendo. Could someone let Whitney know what crescendo means? Thank you.
Well, Meredith has ranges of emotions and volume, and we were in the diabolical and disgusting range for 2 hours. Oh, 2 hours or 5 hours? Because you guys change your story like every 2 seconds. And did you see when they were interviewing Mary at BravoCon on whatever carpet they have over there, the blue carpet, whatever? And they were asking her about this fight, and Mary said, no, Meredith wasn't yelling. She wasn't yelling or screaming. She was just, spiraling.
Did not see that. Well,
just
Lisa
while we're all believing everything that Mary says.
So Lisa goes, the fact that these girls exacerbated us and made it something that it wasn't is kind of like bullshit. And Meredith is like, well, I vented on a plane to a friend for, 30 minutes, 30 seconds. It was basically like I just batted my eyelashes and I communicated through eye signals. And suddenly I'm the man guy.
And now Meredith time changes too, because before it was 10 minutes, and then maybe it was 15. Now she's like, all right, well, maybe it was 30 minutes. Okay. Well, we were all there. Mary's saying we were all there, and we heard it. And if it's not lining up with what she said she did, and we all heard it, here we are then. So Whitney's like, yeah, and Brittany's hair was wet, and she was hyperventilating, and she was terrorized for 5 hours.
Okay, well, I slept and I watched 2 movies, so it was not 5 hours. Okay, try again.
Oh, really? What movies did you watch then? And I started cracking up because this show. And Meredith is like, whoa.
I mean, it was obvious the movie I saw was Crazy Rich Asians. Yes, exactly. Crazy Rich Asians, a documentary about the rise of income and wealth disparity in China following the rise of certain things like battery operated cars and special minerals. No, Meredith. No. It's a rom-com. It's with Henry Golding. Henry Golding, of course, who is a CEO of a tech company. No. Henry Golding and Michelle Yeoh. Yeah, Yeoh. No, you were not in it. No, Michelle Yeoh. No, I'm not Michelle. Michelle Yeoh. I'm not Michelle.
Are you trying to say Michelle me? I'm not really sure what you're going
No.
for.
No. Oh, Michelle Yeoh, not Michelle. No, Yeoh. Huh?
Well, there was also another movie, and I don't recall the name of the movie. Okay, then what happened at the end of Crazy Rich Asians? Yeah, wait a minute. Are we really doing this? Come on, you guys.
Well, I don't remember. I mean, I think someone went crazy, and there was someone who was rich, and possibly there was someone who was Asian. But the specifics elude me at this moment, Your Honor.
Well, it ended with an Asian person being dragged out of a board meeting for turning crazy. He was very rich, so he got off.
No. I got this, Mayor. I got this. Okay, there's a big party. Oh, because a toddler came out with a tracksuit in China. Oh, it was a great movie. I loved it. Very heartwarming.
Well, I usually remember movies I see. Oh, do you? Wow, look at Angie. Movie rememberer. Wow. Yeah, Crazy Rich Asians has a really big moment at the end. Think about it. I saw it with my daughters, who thankfully are out of my life now.
Well, I honestly don't remember. I mean, was it something with Mahjong at this point? Actually, that was surprisingly close. Mahjong, which of course is the name of a very important fashion designer who was featured in the movie. Oh, no, she's off track again.
Did you watch it, Lisa? She's like, I did. Okay, then you tell us what happened. Then we get a timer of Lisa trying to, like a timer and a scorecard come up on the camera. And she's like, okay, there was this guy. I think it was Asian, but like, who am I to say? So he goes on this plane and then he stops everyone. And he's like, oh my God, I want to marry you. Why can't we have peanuts anymore? Because like, it's crazy. Like when I was growing up, there weren't peanut allergies on planes. And so we could eat peanuts. But now all of a sudden people are going to die. Like seriously, so I can't have a peanut because you have an allergy? You know what I mean? I don't want pretzels. I don't eat carbs. Well, unless they're Wendy's. But Wendy's doesn't serve pretzels. So why am I going to eat that? What are Asian people only into pretzels now? Do Asian people still eat peanuts? Can I get them on this plane? I don't want to marry anybody who has pretzel breath. That's it.
Lisa,
What?
that didn't happen in the movie. What are you talking about? Oh, sorry. Okay, so he was like, I want to get married at a pond or something like that. And
Yeah.
the big extra. Or something like that. Ding. And but that didn't happen. But they have a big party for them. And Mary's like, oh, is this a good movie? It's like, yeah. And there's like synchronized swimmers. And it's like very exciting. And like, it's a beautiful movie.
Well, I must have been asleep by then. I must have been asleep then. Fine. Oh, wait, then were you sleep talking? Because I could hear it for the entire flight that was 2 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 3 hours. I was sleeping. I wasn't sleeping. No one was sleeping. I heard everything.
Well, that's impossible. I wasn't saying a word because I was either asleep or I was so captivated about Crazy Rich Asians that I was speechless. So I think you better rethink that, Whitney Rose.
Well, I heard you yelling for 5 rows in front of you. Well, that is impossible. She was sobbing. Who was? Angie was sobbing? How did you hear that from where you... No, I wasn't sobbing. Brittany was sobbing.
Well, I admit the movie was emotional. It was very sad when that crazy rich Asian came in and killed the cow. I mean, talk about a crazy thing to do.
Who wants a movie to end with an Asian person in love about to get married and then dying from a peanut allergy because Lisa couldn't help herself?
Meredith, please stop trying to act like you saw this movie. Well, I did. It was about someone who went into a Chinese restaurant and then went crazy. I mean, it's in the title.
But she was sobbing. Well, then you should have supported her. You were screaming. You lost it. We all saw the same thing.
We all saw Crazy Rich Asians.
I think that Meredith has the right to lose her shit sometimes. Oh no, not to friends, not to friends. I would just like to point out again that Heather literally followed Lisa around screaming and yelling while she was sobbing and on the phone with her husband, and followed her all the way to the edge of a swim platform. Where she could have jumped off
on a boat.
Like, I'm not even denying what happened on this plane. I have no idea. I wasn't there. All I know is that Heather, as the messenger of being all that's good and calm and how we treat friends is fucking hilarious to me. And the fact that they just let her get away with it every time cracks me up. So Heather's like, well, this requires an apology. Do you feel bad that you hurt Brittany?
Well, I already told you I feel bad. Well, I feel badly that I hurt Brittany's feelings. Unfortunately, Brittany does not feel badly at all that she hurt my feelings, so there's nowhere to go. And at the end of the day, you get nothing for nothing, especially if you're trying to watch a movie and you fall asleep during it, and that becomes the keystone of an argument against you. So she doesn't like me. I don't like her. We don't need to be friends. Everyone can move on.
Well, feeling bad. That's different from saying sorry. Okay, you feel bad. That's different from saying sorry. So, well, I am sorry that she heard me venting and it hurt her. So yes, I am. Oh, so you're not. So you're not then. Okay. It's like,
Well, I am very sorry that I said I would ever stand behind her, because that was obviously a mistake, because she could overhear everything that I was going to say. So I take full responsibility for my seating choice. That's an apology about seats. Yes.
And you know what? I'm entitled to my feelings. Yeah, but you lost your right to cry when you harassed her on the plane, Meredith.
I lost my right to my feelings. And then the sound effects go,
Like the Oz went out of control on that.
We had so many sound effects. First, we had a boom. Like throughout this conversation, first there was a boom. And then at one point, there was like a snake rattle, like, and then this one was like, and then later on, there's one that's
trying to solve a mystery. Like,
yeah. I love the one that sounds like you're in like a deserted town. And meanwhile, by the way, while they're having this
I like
fight,
the one where they do that door creak, where it's like someone says something and then it goes.
And meanwhile, while this whole fight is going on, there's like a waiter behind Meredith, like squeezing lemon onto plates. Like, ooh.
Yeah. I like that the waiters at Walters know by now. They're not even affected by any of the fighting. Well, you lost the privilege to speak about it. Look at me, Meredith. And she's like, oh, well, stop talking to me now. I've lost the privilege to speak. Now, why are you talking to me?
And Meredith's like, a little bit more wine, please. Thank you so much. So Meredith goes, you told me I lost my privilege to speak, so I should even speak. She goes, hang on one second. It's time for a speech. Okay, hang me on the 4 words that I spoke. I'll explain why I said those words, and I'll explain it to this whole sisterhood. I said them because I feel like we got on the plane having your back, and whatever happened on the plane, swapped that right on its head, and it went to you and Lisa looking like bullies, and you were mad, and you were telling us all to take notes, and you left the plane, and you guys did not seem upset at all. Brittany had to be physically carried to customs by us, the remainder of the sisterhood. So for me to say you lost your privilege to hang your hat on the victim, you did, because whatever happened, the plane tipped the scales, and you are in the wrong. Now the scene is over because I had a great speech. Oh, it's still going to go on? Okay, sure, fine. I just thought it was a really good speech.
You may have been watching Crazy Rich Asians, but the rest of us were watching Crazy Financially Stable Caucasian. And Meredith just shrugs. And then they have a stare off. And everyone's looking at each other. And we hear a couple of booms. And Meredith's like, say something. Well, I lost my privilege to speak, so that's fine. For her not to give me the benefit of the doubt and to show me race is wrong. And she should be a human being and not be such a judgmental bitch.
Oh my God, icon mother. Oh my God, she just chopped you.
Icon literal mother.
Lisa's like, it's okay for you to be upset. And Mary says, Lisa, if I had treated you like that on the plane, would you have thought it was okay? I think that she thought that was a fucking nightmare. And I don't know how I'm going to navigate myself out of this.
That's not what I thought. I did not think that. No, I didn't.
Well, why didn't you go through customs with us? Tell me, explain this to me.
You know what is so funny? Because I actually have global entry and I should have used it, but I forgot that I had it. Isn't that funny? It was like hilarious because like I have it, but I didn't remember because it wasn't like on my app or anything. That was so good.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Wait a second. This is like a lie. It's like so obvious that she's lying. Because like you don't add global. Like, you don't add global entry to your ticket. It's like something that you just have. You're like identified as like this person. It's not like you don't like forget to enter the globe because you're on the globe. So how could you enter it? It's just like it doesn't make sense. Like
this was so good because Whitney was giddy. Like she had solved, when Whitney solves a mystery on this show, she's always thinking she's solving a mystery. And she's like, yeah, because like it's just like who you are. It's like global entry. And then they put a diagram on her face and started moving it around like an alien ship. And she's like, yeah, because it's not on your ticket. And then they show a ticket on the screen and they circle something. But we had a screener, so it was blocked what they circled. I don't know if they circled global entry or TSA pre.
Probably like TSA pre. I mean, I will say this, like largely Whitney is right. But if someone else books the ticket for you or something like that, like it can get left off and then you have to speak to a gate agent or something like that. So it is possible not to have it. But I think if you don't have it, if you're Lisa Barlow and you fly to this Caribbean island and you don't have TSA pre when you get on the plane, because it's going to go on both sides of the ticket, you're definitely calling someone to be like, where's my global entry? You have to add it onto my ticket. Absolutely. So like this was a bit like, I don't know about that. I think that she was avoiding the pack.
Yeah, well, they scan your face if you're in global entry, and then you go through the thing. Like you don't really have a card, you can have a card, but it doesn't matter. They scan your face, but yeah, I think she was clearly just avoiding being with the other ladies going through global entry.
And then this becomes
the only other person that
Asians.
didn't have global entry apparently was Brittany. So she ended up still having to go through this line with Brittany.
But then stayed away from Brittany back there. So
it was so funny.
So now like they go from prosecuting Crazy Rich Asians to global entries. And she's like, why didn't you use it? You didn't not use it to stay back with Brittany, but then you stayed in line by yourself for 5 hours and didn't use it. What happened?
You know what? Don't worry about it, Angie, okay? No, because why didn't you stay by Brittany if you were there with Brittany? She's like, because I needed space, okay? Like I had my AirPods in and I was listening to Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, I love him. I'm a Kendrick Lamar girly.
Kendrick Lamar. And she just starts laughing. Yeah, no, I love Kendrick.
Yeah.
I love it. I love when he sang the song about cups and was in the acapella movie. It's like, that's Anna Kendrick. Oh, that's not Kendrick Lamar.
Lisa, we were all there. Mary's like, I can't imagine having to sit next to Meredith in that moment of rage. And I'm not attacking you, Meredith. Oh, I know you're not. But I love you and I care about you. And you were hurt. And I know that. She's like, well, I didn't have a lot of support at that point. So, I don't know, maybe you know it, but I didn't feel your support.
She's like, Meredith, we love you. We support you. And Angie says, I supported you in that moment. I did not like what Brittany did to you. And I think everyone would agree. And you basically said to me, if I pick Brittany and side with Brittany, then when you're hurting, then we're done. And I don't want to feel like that. I don't want to have to take sides like that.
I didn't say we're done. I said noted. As in, if you take Brittany's side, I recognize you take Brittany's side, and I will take note of that.
But that's exactly what Brittany said to you, Lisa, if you're going to side with Meredith. And Meredith goes, well, that's not what she said to Lisa. Lisa was threatened, and she said, I'm going to come for you if you don't agree with me. Yeah, she said, I'm going to have a problem with you if you don't agree with me. Are you sure that Kendrick Lamar didn't sing the Cup song? I'm pretty sure it was Kendrick Lamar. Can we circle back to that?
Yeah, but you know what? One thing that Meredith did say is that I'm going to have a problem with you if you don't support me. But you know what? She did. And Meredith's like, no, I didn't. And Meredith's like, okay, thank you, Lisa. And Angie's like, well, did it occur to you that some of the things that your friends say came out of your mouth, maybe came out of your mouth? And she's like, well, all I said that you said that I said was show me the TikTok. Show me the TikTok. That's all I said. Very calm.
Why does Mary, Heather, and Whitney have the same story, and then you have a different story? I'm just trying to understand. Look, it's like Jerry Maguire said, show me the TikTok. Show me a TikTok, right?
Let's stop playing a game of Clue, okay? You know what? Mrs. Peacock was a crazy rich Asian. She got killed by a candlestick in somebody's library or something, okay? Just say you don't like her behavior and they didn't like that you were upset, because that's the bottom line. Just say that.
Well, and Mary's like, yeah, but it is, but you just never stopped. Well, it's just not possible because I slept. I was sleeping. I mean, you all heard I never saw the end of that very exciting action movie about the crazy people. And, but it put me to sleep. It was so exciting I fell asleep. And that's just how it is.
Well, and Mary says, the thing is, the fact that you don't remember concerns me, and I don't think you remember everything. And she's like, well, I'm not going back and forth, and I know what you're saying behind my back, Whitney, so let's not go there, Whitney. Okay, Whitney.
Yeah, suddenly she just pivots to Whitney, and Angie's like, she's not saying anything behind your back. I have not said anything behind your back at all, except voicing my concern about the situation.
Right.
Oh, well, I guess I have misinformation, perhaps. Wait, there's one person that I talked to, camera on Bronwyn, who said something to Meredith. Who? And then suddenly Bronwyn's in the hot seat. I was like,
now
oh
Bronwyn comes live. But this didn't come out of nowhere there, because Mary was saying, listen, I'm concerned for you because I don't think you remember. So that was Meredith like, okay, so now they're going to pivot to my alcoholism, which I know they're going to pivot to because fucking Bronwyn told me that Whitney's trying to start this behind my back, right? So Bronwyn's like, okay, well, I'll tell you. Okay, if Meredith doesn't want to, then I will. You and I had lunch, and I talked to Meredith, and I asked for her side. And I said, it was told to me that you said you were seen drinking in the lounge. And then we see the clip of Bronwyn asking Meredith, so Meredith, were you drinking? And she's like, yes. So Bronwyn twisting it to be like, yeah, it was said to me that you were seen drinking in the lounge. And Bronwyn's like, and it's being said that maybe you don't remember what you said, you don't remember what you said. Okay. And she's like, well, I do not have a substance abuse problem. Whitney goes, I didn't say that though. Well, it was implied. It was implied.
Yeah, Bronwyn, what were the implications you walked away with your conversation with Whitney? And she's like, well, you were drinking heavily and you didn't remember. And you said something how you thought my mom's t-shirt was really awesome. And I said, sure, I can get you a copy if you want. Yeah, well, because everything is fine and everything has been fine and it was fine on that flight. So Whitney's like, but you know what? You know how I feel? I'll tell you. I think it could be one of three things. Okay. 3 things. Either you have hatred in your heart. Boom. You have an anger problem. I'll take anger problem for 200, please.
Well, I don't have an anger problem. All right.
Or you have mixing with substances problems. I mean, problems of mixing Hey, wait. Do you think it's fair that based on what I witnessed that I would assume those 3 things?
I like that when she gave her 3 choices, the first 2, Meredith is like, no, not that. 2, no, not that. Or you have a substance problem. And she's like, well, I'm out of things to pick. I'm out. What do I do? Like there was a moment where Meredith looked like, oh shit, I ran out of options.
She pushed her luck too much. She took door number 3.
Yeah.
So Bronwyn's like, look, it sounds like you were wrong on the plane. And I've tried to be supportive of you, and I tried to ask a lot of questions. And I tried to have your back because I thought that was a step too far, and I appreciate that. But then you outed this at the table, our conversation. No, I gave her a chance to tell me herself, and she didn't, and I never said a word. I never said what it was, and I never said who said it at all. I just said Bronwyn just told me these things, but it could have been any Bronwyn. You think you're the only Bronwyn on this planet? It could have been anyone.
Well, now I've damaged my relationship with Whitney, and I was just trying to help you. Bronwyn gets all mad. Bronwyn, you were the one who took her out and started all this, telling her that Whitney thought she had a drinking problem. She blacked out. So what are you acting all defensive for? Like now you're turning on Meredith. You were the one. These people, you know what? You don't see.
Well, I actually don't think it's so bad. I think that Bronwyn saying like, "Hey, just so you know, everyone's saying that you have a drinking problem. You should heads up," is like not the worst thing in the world. And I think
then why is she acting so defensive? Like, well, Meredith, now you've damaged my relationship with Whitney. Yeah, but Whitney was the one that implied that. So why are you mad at Meredith now?
Well, that I can't explain.
Well,
she's basically mad because she's like, I told you something privileged. I gave you a heads up, and now you drag that into this conversation. It's all irrational.
Yeah, but Bronwyn is notorious for listening to one thing in a conversation, like she did to start this whole fight. When she took Brittany to the store to get information from Brittany, went to the store, started asking her questions about people. Well, what do you think of Lisa? She's big sistering me and I don't like it. What do you think of Meredith? She looks like she's having a seizure all the time. And then immediately goes, oh, really? Well, she said that you're trying to boss her around and that you have a epilepsy problem. You go into seizures or whatever, which is what started Meredith on this whole thing on this particular rampage in the first place.
Mm-hmm. So Meredith is like, Mary says, well, you do realize you were wrong, right? She's like, somewhat. I was reacting to her behavior. I mean, what more do you want from me? I don't know what I'm going to do with Brittany, so that's all I can say for now. Lisa's like, you don't have to have the answer. It's okay, Meredith. It's okay. Yes, well, because now I'm going to be mad at Whitney instead, and she's an easier punching bag, so we'll just pivot that way. Great scene, everyone. Good job.
Yeah. So now they're like, okay, let's make this happy and just make insane haws everywhere. It's like, ha, 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 ha. So then Angie and Meredith are working out and it's wacky. They're just being wacky. They're a wacky pair, aren't they? God,
wacky.
Look at them working out together. And Angie's like, if you can talk, that means you're not working out hard enough. She's like, I do not agree with that.
She's like,
thank you.
And then we go to Bronwyn at home, and she's asking Muzzy for a utensil. She's like, can you pass me that, what's it called? A whisk. Yes. You know, someone who didn't have a baby out of wedlock would have known what that's called. Mother, do you have to really make everything about that? Kind of do. Yeah.
You should remember it's called a whisk because that's what we tried to have your baby, whisked away and everything. Surely you remember. That baby came out, her head was whipped before she could even start crying.
Unfortunately, we were a bit too literal on the whisking. We thought when they said you whisk someone away, you had to actually literally turn them into meringue. Hey, what can you do? Everything's fine. So Bronwyn's like, so I was emailing this morning with my attorney about my citizenship. And Muzzy's like, oh, so what's happening with that? She's like, what? And she tells us, surprise, I'm not actually an American citizen. I was born in Brazil and my parents are from the UK. So I had dual citizenship in both. And a few years ago, I decided I want to become a US citizen and get to vote. And I'm just so excited for jury duty. I'm like, girl, you're in danger. You're up here.
This is a confession.
Be careful. Be careful.
Know.
Last few weeks they're talking about your criminal record, and now you're saying you're not even a citizen. You better be careful with this administration.
Yeah, Molly, you in danger, girl. Yeah, I was like, I don't always agree with you, Bronwyn, but I will still fight for you. Call me if you need me. But also, it's such an odd time, too, because everyone else is trying to figure out how to get the hell out of this country. Bronwyn's like, give me my citizenship.
Yeah. So Bronwyn, so basically she's like, she's saying, it's funny because like all my siblings were born here and they all got their U.S. passports automatically. And Lizzie goes, and then we had an oops. Okay, Mom, you can't call me an oops to my face. Oops. Oops.
They're laughing, but I couldn't be the only person who thought, oh, really, Muzzy? Not as judgmental now, are we? Okay.
That's right. Talk about oops. She did it again. So now we go to Heather's house and her daughters walk into Heather's office and like, oh my God, Mom, it looks so nice in here. Where'd you get all this stuff? I ordered it from Wayfair, all from the same price. I was like, oh my God, my goodness, shills for Wayfair. Anyway, we're going to take a commercial break now. We're going to talk about Wayfair.
Let's talk about the new things we got from Wayfair. I love that Wayfair, like somewhere in Wayfair's meetings, they're like, you know who our people are? Bravo people. Those are our
Right.
people. Just get every fucking Bravo person in our chairs.
On top of it. They got it. Heather says, I can hardly recognize myself right now. I'm like, girl, you and me both. She's like, I lived in a small home.
No
I mean,
kidding.
like,
Do
something
you
don't
have
need to
any
be said,
tips for the
Heather.
rest of us? Jeez.
She's like, I lived in a small home for 20 years, raised my kids there. And now I have this huge house with my own office with a pool and 3 daughters going to college and a stack of books that are on the New York Times bestseller list 3 times over. God, I don't recognize myself.
I even have bird binoculars now. Look, daughters. And she has binoculars on her desk, and they're like, that's kind of creepy. She's like, no, it's fulfilling and rewarding. I can see pool boys. And we flash forward, and poor thing, I mean, these are definitely winter pool boys, you know?
I
They're
know.
like, hey,
Winter
you
pool
got another cigarette on you? Hey, well, I guess let's get back to the mines. You know, they're all covered in like soot, like they've been out of the mines.
I know. They're really going at it. Then we have tense music. And we go to a place called M. Vince Nail Spa. I'm like, M. Vince? That's very exciting. So Meredith is sitting in a chair, but she has like her boots on. It's like, I will not be getting a pedicure on television. You will not see my toes. I'm sorry, you don't get to see that.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you know what? Is there someone who can do my fingernail too? Because I broke one. Yeah, I had to do like regular entry, not global. It was so hard. Don't even ask. Okay, you know what? So, like, all this nonsense with lunch, like, I'm just, like, on the plane, like, the lunch after the plane, like, it's, like, weird, right? Yeah, well, I'm most surprised by Heather. I mean, I didn't expect her to take my side, but at least give me some support as a friend. I mean, she was leading the charge against me. She had the biggest problem. She was the judge and jury. She was the screenwriter of Crazy Rich Asian People. Just Asians.
Oh, well, I didn't realize that. I was just weird and quite frankly, not as big of an issue as Whitney Rose. Why is she sitting there trying to judge me, my mental health and my drinking? These are damaging false rumors, and I would like to say nastiness to spread about somebody.
Yeah, like when did Whitney get her psych degree? Like when did she get that? She's not a psych.
What is she watching Psych on USA? Because she like knows Psych now. Like Psych, that's crazy Psych.
Well, from someone who's on every journey from under the sun, from Kinning. Did she say Kinning?
Hilling.
Oh, what's like? I reminded
From
3 times. I
Hilling.
said what? I thought she said Kinning, from Hilling to religion or whatever. I think she should focus on herself. Why me?
So producer asked Meredith, how do you plan to move forward with Whitney? I don't. And I love that Meredith, she always starts a feud mid-season and carries it to the next mid-season. It's like, she's like a student in college who starts in January, you know, like always like 1 semester off. It's always fun. So
I
Meredith
feel like
is
most seasons, everyone is always complaining through the first half of the season. Like Meredith doesn't do anything. Meredith is so boring. Meredith is just blah. She just shows up and eats, and that's all she ever does. No. And by the second season, she always owns the show, you know?
Yeah,
But
always.
she's just that kind of person to me. It seems like she comes on and she's like, I'm going to keep it classy. I'm not going to be down to these women's level. I'm not going to fight and act like an idiot. And then they just keep poking. And then she just fucking loses it. And then she never lets it go. It's like once you piss her off, so you've got like 5 years of pain ahead of you.
Yeah. Well, it seems to me that they're trying to exacerbate the situation with Brittany. Yeah, I had a conversation with Brittany, by the way. She feels like emotionally like she experienced like a lot. So we have a flashback and it's Lisa and Brittany. And Brittany is like, I've just been hearing like, what I've just been hearing with you is that like you just don't feel like you contributed to it. No, I don't, because I didn't. And I won't. And I never will. And I never have. And I don't. She's like, yeah, but like, I just feel like you were like absolutely as complicit as the person accosting me.
Well, you know what? I think that your recollection of what happened on the plane is inaccurate. And I feel like I was trying to help you, like whether you want to believe it or not. But I was.
But it was like literally the 6th worst thing that has ever happened to me in my entire life.
The 6th worst.
6th worst. Okay, that's really high. Like statistically, that's very high. Like if you have a top 10 hit, that's like a big deal.
I feel like I was helping. Oh, no, sorry. That was Lisa's line. I mean, is there anything that you can say that's like, hey, Brittany, I'm sorry, ... You know, anything like that?
Yeah, well, I did apologize to you, and I feel badly that you didn't feel like I was supporting you when I feel like I was with the apology I gave to you already, okay? Sorry, I gotta listen to more Kendrick Lamar now.
So we cut back, and Lisa's like, yeah, I feel like we're in a good place, but like, we're never going to agree about what happened on the plane. But you know what? I feel bad that she was hurt. Yeah, she was hurt.
Well, here's the thing, Lisa. As far as it goes with Brittany, I'm sorry for her. I'm sorry for her as a human being, period. That's why I'm going to be the bigger person and move on. I mean, has she been horrible to me? Yes, but do I feel sorry for Brittany that she can't hold a relationship, that she struggles professionally, that her hair sometimes looks very bad and does need Kerastase? I mean, Angie was correct about that. 100%, yes. It's just kind of like, she's just kind of like a sad specimen.
Yeah, well, she asked how you feel, and I said, you know what? You should talk to Meredith about it.
Well, thank you. I'm happy to talk to Brittany now that I've reframed her as a helpless nobody and decided to focus my attention on Whitney.
So then we go to Whitney driving a U-Haul, and
where she calls it, wow. I'm here with a wow.
I love that Whitney is like so cosmopolitan. She's like she's such a woman of the world. It's like a ooh-ah.
Ooh-ah.
So Whitney
What's
is driving.
U-Haul? Sorry.
So Whitney is like, hey, lady on the phone, call Heather Gay. And I won't say her name because, of course, everyone in my house went off and was like, who? Which Heather? Which Heather would you like to call?
Oh, gosh. And you have to be careful with that. So
I actually have that number in my phone. What if it did call?
Could you imagine? It actually calls her during the podcast. Ronnie Karam.
She's like, are you ready to apologize? Finally.
This is a sisterhood, Ronnie. You've lost the privilege to speak on your podcast.
That would have been funny.
I know.
So she called. So, you know, Siri gets all upset and confused in my house. So she goes over to Heather's house because they're going to move this mattress out. And Heather is dressed in a black lace dress and a Chanel belt to unload this truck. And Whitney's like, are we going to a funeral or what?
Yeah, because it's death to the mattress. And so Heather's like, it's a funeral for the mattress. I didn't want to keep the marital mattress for 20 years because of a sentimental feeling. I was just frozen in time, like my face. Look, this is not a mattress tossing. It's a funeral for the life that is now going to go on forever. Or is gone forever. One of those two things. Sorry.
So they moved the mattress wackily. You know, they lift it off the box spring, and Heather's in like stiletto heels or something. She's like, I think I broke the box spring with my heels.
Oh, and then they're like moving the mattress out so you can see all like the body oil stains.
That is a nasty mattress. That mattress is nasty. And listen, I'm a boy, and I've moved a mattress or two, and they, you know, they're all nasty. But why would you put that on TV? That's horrible.
This mattresses collect oils. What can I say? I wish I could say that my mattress will look better than that, but
that did not look like just oils. That looked like a horror show. That was a horror movie. Don't put that on camera. Cover that shit up.
Different chemistry. As someone who has body oils himself, you know what? I'm sorry. Sometimes my mattress looks like that as well. Okay.
You know what? Body oil all you want to. Don't put it on TV. There are some things you just need to keep to yourself.
I will never move my mattress on TV because I do not want people to see how that looks. My body, I'm an oily bitch. Yeah, it's nice, huh? Fun thought to think of. So
I'll just let everybody sit with that for a minute.
Yeah, sit with it, everyone. Marinate in it.
On this Thanksgiving, as you're all driving home to your family's house,
like,
just think of that.
Thanks.
You're thinking of basting your turkey. I'm an oily bitch.
I'm an oily bitch, bro. So Heather's like, rest assured, these are not sex stains. These are sisterhood stains. Not one sperm was spilled on this mattress. God does not like waste. And I was good in my marriage. Ronnie's, it's an emotional moment. It's goodbye to a mattress. I understand. It's.
I'm still in the oily bitch phase of this podcast. I'm just kidding. So she's like, this mattress has written 2 books. It's born 2 babies. It spent 14 years in the marriage. This mattress is finally free. I just went to sleep. I'm not stained with 20 years of broken dreams. I just want a mattress that's not stained with 20 years of broken dreams.
Can we stop talking about the mattress now? She's like, sure. Well, lunch. Meredith was a solid friend for years, and I never have been at war with her or been in a situation where I don't know how to defend her. But now she's put me at odds with the future of our friendship.
I'm her scapegoat. I realize this. She just has to have someone to blame. Whitney, you're an asshole, okay? I'm Team Meredith against anything Whitney, for sure. But I feel concerned for her because I really think she blacked out because sometimes it reminds me of what my dad was like.
That must be so triggering. Another reason why we should be angry at Meredith.
Yeah, because when someone blacks out, it's usually a combination of drugs or alcohol or a bad combination of prescriptions. And by not
Sherlock
taking
Holmes over
accountability.
there.
What?
Sherlock Holmes over there. Wait a second.
What are the reasons for blacking out? Stuck in traffic. Happens.
I just realized usually if you black out, it's because a combination of drugs or alcohol. It's like, yep. Or prescription.
You're
It's
on one today, that's for sure.
Figured it out.
So she's basically saying it reminds her of her dad because he said that he didn't have a problem for years too. And she was going to sit Meredith down and have the talk with her, and that was going to be her storyline. But she's like, but then I wouldn't have gone to lunch had I had known that little coward Bronwyn would run right to her like a venomous, hungry giraffe. No, they're not venomous with
You can do it. You can do it. Find something
Elephant.
venomous.
Elephant.
No.
Again. Dog.
Platypus. Actually, I think you just stumbled into that one correctly. Platypuses are actually venomous. So you got it, Whitney.
That she would run to her like a venomous, hungry platypus. Good job, Whitney.
Well,
See,
You know, I was going to talk to her about it. It's like, everyone else, like, you had time. You had time, Whitney. So
yeah.
Now
And I
it's
love
us.
that Whitney's going to claim, like, I was never going to suggest that you were an alcoholic. And she's like, yeah, I was going to sit her down privately and tell her I thought she was an alcoholic who blacked out.
Yeah. Would not have gone over well. So now we go to a serious place called like Purple Therapy or something like that. And Brittany enters with Olivia. And they are sitting there. And Brittany tells us something that actually makes no sense, but you would just go with it. She goes, I'm still recovering from what happened on the plane ride, and I'm very raw, but it gave me clarity on what I need to focus on. Olivia. I don't see how those are connected. And also, you know what should give you clarity on what to focus on? Olivia. Olivia should give you clarity on how to focus on Olivia. Like, why do you need this? Has nothing to do with the airplane.
Also, this is your second season, and you shouldn't be traumatized a week later after a housewife scene on a plane.
Yeah,
Like, come on.
Get much worse.
So, and also, you talking about your trauma with after what you've put Olivia through. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think it kind of goes to show who this lady is. So, Olivia's there, and she's obviously, and we see the Ashley therapist, the therapist named Ashley. What the fuck is wrong with me? The therapist's name is Ashley, and we see her, and she's one of my favorite Bravo therapists. I believe that she's a therapist, and I thought she was pretty good. What do you think?
She was pretty good. I mean, she seems so young. I was like, gosh, gee willikers. But then again, my therapist is like really old. But she was good. This was actually a really moving scene. It was actually moving and compelling, I thought. So Olivia,
Yeah, I want a therapist who's going to tell me this. Nothing's really your fault. It's all your mom's fault. Forgive yourself and go home. Okay, take my money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And she basically, Olivia says that when Brittany married this new guy, she just like threw herself into this new relationship and we were no longer a priority. And it's almost like she just wanted this guy to love her so much that she ignored us. And like the other kids seemed to be more important. And so I moved to my dad's. And it was like 7 years of her neglecting her kids.
Yeah, and she's like, she put all of her time into celebrating the stepkids' wins, but not our wins. And she says the hardest thing is that she still feels a connection with her mom. And she's like, and you haven't made the best decisions, but I still want a relationship. But my brain is telling me I'm going to get hurt. And Brittany's like, well, but I just wish I could tell you that I've grown and I would never do that again. And I would never allow myself to be put in a cage where I couldn't be a mother to my kids. Okay, that right there is where there's a huge red flag that shows me Brittany has learned nothing because she's still blaming other people. She was put in a cage so she could. It was the husband's fault that she couldn't be a mother to her kids. She was put there. Nah,
so.
this lady has learned nothing, but she has learned how to keep her mouth shut, let her daughter say what she needs to say, minimize the damage, and get the fuck out of there. So I'll give her credit for that.
So Ashley's like, well, that's trauma. You know, it's different, but it feels the same. And like, what's the goal? And Brittany's like, well, I don't really want anything right now. Maybe a steamer. Remember the steamers at Olivia? No, she still doesn't remember the steamers. Anyway, I just
or
want
a dry
I just
cleaner
want
for my unicorn. Oh my God, I just got the cutest little unicorn, Olivia. Wait, it's got a message for you. You are loved, baby. Good night. I'm related to Donny Osmond.
The therapist is like, okay, well, Brittany, that's not how family therapy works. You are deserving too. Are you saying that I am loved? Yes, you are. Oh, sorry, someone else told me so. I'd like my money back, please. Okay, well, you know what? You are deserving of getting what you need to move on in your relationship. And Brittany just basically says she doesn't feel like she's worthy of anything because she, basically damaged her daughter so much.
And Olivia's like, well, yeah, for some reason I feel the same way, Mom. She goes, oh, what? She goes, yeah, because, I spent so much time being unlovable, like your mom not loving you kind of does that. And so like getting to know people's hard. And once they get close, I'm afraid they'll leave me again. And she's like, oh my God, it's so heartbreaking because if I just made different choices, my kids wouldn't have that trauma.
Yeah. And so Brittany feels really guilty. And Olivia is like, she's like, oddly enough, it's reassuring that she realizes what she did was wrong because I feel like your response is to shove it under the rug usually because you like to act like it's perfect. So to hear accountability makes me feel better. And Brittany is happy. And she goes, you're a real unicorn. Which reminds me, Jared got me a unicorn. Did I play it for you, Olivia? She's like, yes, mother. Yes.
Yeah, she didn't really say the unicorn thing, but that shit would be funny. You're a real unicorn,
I was like,
Olivia.
I don't remember that.
Sorry, I wrote that in there as a note for myself. Thank you, Olivia. You're a real unicorn. So Bronwyn is going to a store with her mom and her daughter. It's a triple generation day trip. They're going to a store called Bonsai by Me. It's not funny. Bronwyn's like, do you get it, Muzzy? Get it? Bonsai by Me? Get it? Get it, Muzzy? Get it? She's like, yeah. Still hilarious, Bronwyn.
Did they go here on Secret Lives of Mormon Wives? I feel like I've been here to this place before. So Muzzy is like, oh, what's the point of growing a small tree? It's too late. It's too late. Well, who cares about a small tree? It's not going to help anything. So this guy's like, all right, guys, bonsai is about the beauty you see in the tree. So let's make a mess. Muzzy's like, I see no beauty. Can I go home now? This is what I call an oops.
Gwen wants a plant for my chameleon and one for me. And Bronwyn's like, well, I'm not a Zen person, but, with everything going on with my parents and Todd, I need Zen. I shouldn't have worn my Valentino, though. Am I right, girls?
Their first order of business is that they have to pull out these little bonsai trees. And they have to take a chopstick and they have to like poke the chopstick into the soil to loosen the roots. And Muzzy is like, boo, 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 boo. But like she just tears apart her bonsai. Like, okay, Muzzy. All right, Muzzy. Okay, that's just 8 decades of rage that she's got going on there. Put the chopstick down, Muzzy.
So Bronwyn's like, okay, well, how many chameleons can that tree handle? Because Gwen is talking about breeding Fezzy. That's true.
I don't want to breed him, Mother. I just want to give him your haircut. Well, we can see if Christian will make him a small little Bronwyn wig, but I think that's the best we can do.
And Gwen's like, he's looking for a mate, Mother. I'm not trying to mate him. And she goes, well, how do you know he's looking for a mate? She goes, because he sticks his penis out and walks around. Well, I do that, and I'm just looking for the remote control. Don't think you can read everybody.
So then Gwen says, she says, I want to find her. And I want to find her like this chameleon's girlfriend. She's in Portland, and I think it's a cool place, because you told me you didn't want to go to BYU and you wanted to go to New York and have a new experience. So I want to do that too. You can't stay in the same spot forever. Am I right? Unless you're Todd. He always just sort of sits there on the sofa and is always looking at that iPad. You're not looking at the iPad, are you? No, Mother. I really don't want to ever look at his iPad ever again.
And Braun was like, well, I've just never been alone. And I think it's past time I was an adult by myself, but I just wish she wasn't so excited to leave. And it says, it's a daughter leaving me scene.
Oh, but it's double elimination because Bronwyn then looks to Muzzy and she's like, so, but you're staying, right, Mom? I mean, I hate you, but I would love it if you could stay. She's like, no, not leaving yet. I mean, I should find my own place. You know, I can only stare at that hideous living room of yours for so long before I just want to faint from embarrassment.
I was thinking of staying here for a little bit longer until you got those couches that look like Willy Wonka's hemorrhoids. I'm out of here.
Is it Todd? Because I'll get rid of him. Joking, not joking. And she's like, well, I think Todd's going to get rid of you first. Hashtag oops. Am I right?
Oh, don't tempt me with a good time, Mother. Honestly, I know we're laughing, right? We're all laughing. That's hilarious. But, you know, it's really uncool that you two have planned this at the same time. You're just leaving me at the same time. And Gwen's like, no one hates you, Mother. Okay, we just need things. We need to do things.
It's just hard, sweetie. You know, I don't want to leave you, but it's hard to come to a bonsai shop and watch you nod so hard you poke a hole in your forehead with the tree. Okay, so let's come on now. Keep your head up, literally. Ron was like, well, it's just hard because these are the best days of her life are coming up, and these were the best days of my life being with her, and I just, I want her to do everything, and I just feel left fine. Gee, Bronwyn, way to just like drop all that baggage on your poor daughter. I mean, let the girl go out and live her life. Oh my God, what is wrong with her?
Are you kidding? I can't tell. You sound like you're being sarcastic.
No, I'm not kidding. I'm like, I don't think you should put that onto your child. You should not. I don't think that's right. I'm sorry. I think this kid is like 19. She's about to go in the world, go off to college, experiencing new things. And I think independence is super important. And I don't think it's like very helpful if a mom is like, oh no, but now I'm left behind. You may feel that. I'm not saying you can't feel that, but don't put it onto your child. Tell it to your therapist or tell it to your mom or tell it to Todd. Or go tell it to the mountain.
Oh, I think it's nice to, make your daughter feel. She's like, I'm going to miss you. I think she's just saying, like, I'm going to miss you.
Say, I'm going to miss you. I love you. But like, don't be like, my best days are now officially behind me. I feel left behind. Oh my God. I feel like that does such a trip on kids. Then they feel obligated that they have to come back. And it was like, no, live, be exciting, grow those wings. Find chameleons to make.
Yeah, we were raised so differently. I'm like, this is pretty safe. This is pretty.
Wait a second. You're the one who's always like, you know what, kid? Erase your mother. She's toxic. I thought for sure you'd be like, yes, Ben. And I'm the one being like, shut up. Let the kid go.
No, I thought it was nice that she's sad for her kid. I don't know. To me, it's just like a kind of a typical thing, of being like sad your kid's going and stuff.
The sentiment is nice because you love your child and she misses her child. Of course, that's lovely and beautiful. I think you should be careful when you say those things. And yeah, I'm not a parent. So who the fuck cares? I just think it's like, I feel like I've seen people in my life who could have flourished, but didn't because their parents guilted them into like staying, close by or just kept a leash on them. And I just don't think that's healthy.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I think if she was doing that, that would be bad. But she's like, I understand she has to go. It just hurts kind of thing. But, this is also a Bronwyn scene. So, of course, it's like Bronwyn's going to be the victim at the end of the day. She's like, I just feel left behind by you leaving. And she's like, well, I mean, I just put so much into helping my mom when she was sick, and now we've settled into a good place. I mean, we've just been so giggly. Could you look at the clip where she does a Ricky Ricardo line? And then we cut to her mom going, wow, you should really be like, Lucy, I'm home. And then they laugh. And I was like, where did this Muzzy come from? Because a couple of weeks ago, they showed her on here and she was an emotional terrorist.
I know. Yeah, she's they're like basically Bronwyn's like really sad. She's like, I can't believe you guys are both leaving right now. And Gwen's like, Mother, I'm working on my bonsai and you're crying. It's so embarrassing. And she's like, well, guess what? I'm going to Tanya Harding both of you, which is funny because that's the second time Tanya Harding has been used as a verb on Bravo this week. The other time was Kizzy on Below Deck.
Yes. Yes. People brought Tanya Harding up twice this week on Bravo. What is going on with Tanya Harding? Is she going to get like some NBC special or something?
She should be a Real Housewife at this point. I think we can all agree with that. I mean, she really is. She's kind of the like Real Housewife of I don't know where she's living these days, but like podunk. But she would be a really good Real Housewife. If you want to hear all of our thoughts on Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan, tune into our Below Deck Med recap, because I'm not kidding you. We talked about it for 5 minutes. We like went down memory lane about that. So yeah, go listen.
Yeah. So Brom was like, oh God, now I'm even getting along with my mother and she's moving out. And so Muzzy's like, well, when you were coming back and forth from San Francisco and Utah on the weekends, I knew someday you'd move. And it was hard. I said, God, sometimes it's easier knowing where your failure is than just knowing it's out there lost somewhere in the world. Thank you, Mother. Thank you.
A failure in the hand is worth a failure in the hand is worth two in the bush. Okay. And again, isn't that how we got in this situation in the first place?
Mother, you knew it was hard on me, so why are you doing it to me? And so now everybody's crying. Well, Gwen's not really crying, but the moms are crying. And Gwen's like, I'm working on my bonsai, okay? So Gwen says, yeah, Muzzy just wants to bring her secret boyfriend over. It's like, oh, I would support that for her. Muzzy, do it, Muzzy.
Muzzy's like, Bronwyn, a wise person once said, everything is fine. Everything is fine.
Frazzled cat. Then we look at her bonsai tree. It's like stabbed to death. All the leaves have fallen off. The trunk is black and like over the end, over the edge of the pot.
The branches are just going every direction. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. So now we go to Brittany. Speaking of, she's now going to this. She's walking across a bridge in some park, and Meredith is sitting on a bench, and it's very dramatic. Brittany's saying that she, Meredith reached out and I'm here and I want to see if she'll own what happened. Because if she apologizes, I'm more than willing to own my part of it. Well, thank you for coming here today. It's really pretty. And thank you for taking time out of your job to come here. That was a joke. We know you don't have a job, and I'm sorry for that.
I came somewhere where we wouldn't have to argue over who's going to pay, since you can't. So thank you for coming to this park bench. Now, I wanted to talk face to crazy face and tell you that I'm sorry that you heard me innocently talking to Lisa on the plane, and it was definitely the wrong place and the wrong time, and I feel terribly if I hurt your feelings, because I would never want to do that during crazy, wealthy Asian people doing things that they do, because that was a good film. So,
yeah, whatever that movie was about, some sort of Japanese auto manufacturer. So I try to treat people with kindness and respect, and I don't feel like it's been an easy path for us. With you, Wei, you've been eavesdropping in on me just venting to a friend calmly and casually during a very fine movie. And I'm hopeful that we can move forward and at a bare minimum treat each other with kindness and respect. And just the way Michelle Yeoh did the entire movie to Constance Wu. Oh my God, I remember the people in the movie.
I think I didn't catch the end. I'm hoping that the Michelle Wu lady was not one of the Busby Berkeley idiots, because I hate swimming. And Brittany, there's a really long pause, and Brittany's just like slitting her eyes, like she's not sure. She's like waiting to be yelled at, and she's like, well, thank you. That means a lot. I still feel hurt and traumatized, but I have been really working on forgiveness lately. So she's like, and Meredith is just staring at her like, your turn.
Your turn.
She's just like, there's a really long pause while Brittany slits her eyes, and she's like, well, yeah, okay. Well, I'm not aware of the intricacies of your relationship, and it was a shitty thing to do to bring it to TikTok. And I realized that TikTok is a trigger for you. So I'm sorry as well.
Well, to be clear, the real trigger was that you came in like you were trying to help me when you were actually trying to hurt me, which is funny because that's what Heather did to Lisa, but that's besides the point. So
yes.
Like, yeah,
well,
you're
also,
right.
This comes from something that happened. I don't know where I heard this. They said it on Watch What Happens or something. what she's talking about is before the scene when Brittany goes and does the TikTok thing, she had just come to Meredith and Lisa's room and was like, "Oh my God, are you guys doing okay? Like, are you okay?" You know, like acting like she was their friend and saying, "Oh my God, Meredith, you look so pretty. Everything's going to be great today. We're going to have a great day." Like trying to smooth it over. And then she gets up to lunch and is like, "And I was on TikTok." And so that's what she means, I think.
So funny. So, shameless. So Meredith is like, "Well, I appreciate you being honest. I didn't expect that. And luckily for you, I've decided to move my rage over to Whitney Rose. So it's nice. You know, I apologize and she apologized. So I'll take that and I'm going to move on in peace. And now we can have a pleasant little conversation." So Brittany says,
yeah, it's been hard because there's such contention because everyone's been really torn this week and it's been a really big deal. And I just don't want that to be a thing. So I don't know if we'll ever get there, but, you know, we could try some civility.
Civility. Anyway, well, let's set the bar low when we take baby steps. And now I'm going to keep on walking back to my car while we talk because we know that apparently you can hear my voice over all the noise of a park, let alone headphones and an airplane. Am I right?
So I would just like to say bye, Brittany. I'm saying it in this tone of voice. You don't think I'm yelling at you with your supersonic hearing.
And just know that this is a hug. It's not me shaking you and pouring champagne over your head, even though I did just do that. But that's a love champagne, reconciliation champagne.
Baby steps. So there you go. It's over. It's done.
Wow.
They've decided to move on. Isn't that
what a
sweet?
beautiful sentiment before Thanksgiving. I give thanks to this show. This was an amazing episode. I'm sorry. This was a great one. And God, Salt Lake City, it's always in the pocket, always there.
Yeah, it's always a good one. So thank you guys. What a great show full of wonderful turkeys for us. Always make us laugh consistently. And thank you guys, the audience, for always being here for us and allowing us to do this with our lives because God knows.
Whoa.
I couldn't live a real life. So thank you for this. You guys give us so much. And I don't mean monetarily, even though you do. But I mean just supporting and just allowing us to do this every day. And your comments and coming to see our shows and coming to see us in meet and greets and writing us and everything that you do for us. You know, we know a lot of you really well and a lot of you we're just getting to know lately. But you really do give us a special life. So thank you, everybody. And thank you, Ben. You're such a good friend and partner.
Ronnie.
I love you. I'm thankful for you.
I'm thankful for you, too. If there's anything that BravoCon taught me 2 weeks ago during that wild, overstimulating experience is that I am supremely grateful for our listeners who were so kind to us all weekend long and came to our party and came to our panel. But I'm most appreciative of you, Ronnie, because that was such a wild ride, and I don't think I could have done it without you. I don't know how anyone could do it without you. But that was wild.
Babe, I love you. All right, everybody, we love you. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.